G'day everyone. I haven't got the chat up, so if you are catching this live, I'm not going to see it. And that's just so that I can go through and do this without basically recording it, because editing is hard. All right, so how is the $20 a week challenge going? God damn it, it is hard, but I am starting to find some things. Now, the grants, whilst it is inoffensive, was a little bit of a shock to the system. I think coming into the challenge, the period of no access to alcohol, because I was very strict on the challenge there to start with, meant that I was very keen for a whiskey, and I didn't have any. Now, those who were picking up on the language there, very strict on the alcohol consumption, that is mostly true. So during the challenge, I have definitely been consuming alcohol that is not whiskey, predominantly beer. I've always consumed beer outside of my whiskey consumption. I don't think that skews the results that much. Most of the beer that I have is still leftover cartons from pre-Christmas. That stuff goes off, that goes nasty. I will just drink it like I would normally drink it. But for the most part, my alcohol consumption is whiskey, generally speaking. Not much has changed, but yeah. The grants, which I will pour now, for those who don't know or haven't been following, that was officially the first budget buy. It was $38. It was on special. Was it a good decision? Look, yes and no. I think it has highlighted that how I consume whiskey is incredibly different to how I consumed whiskey 20 years ago. It also is the sort of bottle that I would definitely buy if I was going to gift a bottle. It's in that sort of price range. It's not something that I would have gone neat with until, now. Look, I can appreciate it a little bit more further in the challenge than I could at the start. And I think a little bit of that was the whiskey equivalent of culture shock. She's a different beast than what I had grown accustomed to, but still enjoyable. Now, on the glassware side of front, on the glassware front, I should say, that was a fantastic purchase. I think this style of glass, it's not quite a rocks, it's not quite a. It is a Bailey's glass. It really is. It's it is a Bailey's glass. Found it in an op shop. It was $2. It's actually probably an ideal budget whiskies drinkers glass. Like, straight up, it is versatile. You can have a mixed drink in that and enjoy it pleasantly. You can have a rocks drink in that and enjoy it pleasantly. And I have been tempted, because I obviously have Glencairn's. It's still on my desk. I'm hesitant to clean this one. It's got the last traces of Ardbeg that I had last year before I started the challenge. It may or may not get sniffed every now and then. But I have thought about a little bit later, when this gets really, really low, just doing a quick side-by-side and doing a little bit of a glassware shootout for the budget whiskies. Tell me in the bottom whether or not that's something that you guys would be interested in, or whether or not it's something that we should explore as a community together. Is glassware, when you are starting out on your whiskey journey, an important tool, or is it potentially a hindrance that could distract from other more important things to send a new whiskey person to spend their money on? Because part of this challenge is, forcing me, like quite hard, forcing me to really think about what I'm doing and what whiskies I'm going to get and stuff like that. Now, the budget, and there is a budget, I'm still doing well. I actually have $60 in the budget at the moment. Yep, $60 in the budget at the moment. I haven't spent anything outside of the glass and the grants as of yet, and I am strongly debating whether or not I should wait another week, and that would give me $80. And then I have the opportunity of getting two whiskies around the $40 range, which would give me quantity. Or do I go like a $60 bottle of whiskey, which would give me quality that is still very enjoyable? So it's starting to get to the hard decision side of stuff. Or alternatively, do I wait a week more and try and get something that I personally would enjoy a lot? I still haven't shot the video for the rules. So very, very briefly, I wanted to... my hard rules are a bottle of whiskey a month must be purchased. So I've already done January's purchase. February's purchase is a case of, do I bankroll some more money and go something cheap? Do I, spend up some money and get a couple of bottles to actually start a collection, as opposed to someone who's just got a bottle of whiskey, which, if you didn't notice, is very empty? I blame Brad. Yeah, so that is, and next month is also my birthday month. Right smack in the middle is pretty much me. So then, do I buy the quantity of whiskey because, well, quite frankly, that's going to be a time that people are going to be coming over. So I realistically should have something in my cupboard to offer guests. So yeah, it's an interesting month that we're coming into. On that, I have started to receive my whiskey gift. Thank you, Brad Leclerc. It wasn't a bottle or anything like that. It's not going to go into the greater collection, but I tell you what, it is going to be cherished and possibly shared and consumed at special occasions. So yeah, I'm drinking a lot less. I think less because of what's on offer, and just more that maybe that was not the first whiskey to go to. But that said, I consumed an awful lot of it in a sitting post last cask strength stream. So definitely not a bad whiskey, and that's probably going to be a good lesson, I think, for those starting out in their whiskey journey, is be really realistic on how much you're going to drink. And if you are someone who is prone to drinking a fair chunk in a session because the situation decrees that it is that sort of a situation, do I start looking at having effectively and in consuming, budget, and then using the leftover to go for those really interesting bottles that I'd want to explore if I was collecting from scratch? Or do I just go big and go home and mourn the losses of more expensive bottles if I were to, because there was nothing else to drink? Yeah, really forces you to have a look. Now, I am going to look at the comments because there are some comments. Hey, there's a Jesse, Patron, and Shannon, and a Matt. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing. Yeah, $2 glasses is fantastic. Honestly, op shops are your best damn option for going and getting glassware, I think, if you're starting out in the collection. And honestly, even just keeping an eye out at discount places like Aldi or your dollar shops, your cheapest chip sort of things. I did have a look at a couple. A lot of the glassware that was on offer in those places, I would not touch. Less so the quality, and more to do with the fact that they would be easily broken. Hey, Greg, how are you, dude? So yeah, all right. That's pretty much me done. I'm going to bid you all a fantastic night. And yeah, cheers, guys. Bye.